Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch. Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch. I think it's all over, but it is now.
Hello. Good evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on when you're listening. And welcome to Some People Are on the Pitch, Season 2, Episode 2. That's DOS for our Spanish fans. I'm your host, Bobby Hurst. I'm very well, thank you for asking. We've had no technical problems at all this evening in the studio. This is definitely the first take of this. Well, what a weekend. The weekend of accumulator killer football. Big teams getting beat like this morning's eggs. So, me and my crack team of Fandits, thank you Sam, are here as ever to bring you some thoughts, opinion, banter, and hopefully, a few laughs on the weekend's football. So without further ado, there's always one, guys. So let's meet my wonderful panel. And I start, as I always do, at centre-back. And our resident, l'enfant terrible. He's straight out of a Joe Orton play. He's angrier than a load of Geordie fans in a tornado. He's hotter than a lunchtime kickoff in Manaus. It's Mario Samatelli. Sam Connolly. How are you going, Sam?
Very well, Bobby. How are you?
Oh, just dandy. Right. Next, I move to the left wing. But no, I don't, because producer Pain Dog, the worst producer in all producer land, has failed to me again. If we were going on a school trip, he wouldn't be allowed because of bad attendance. But last week he was saving Scotland, mission accomplished. Well, this week he's got to pretend that Ed Miliband might win a general election with a load of other Labour people. Good luck, Ed. We're all rooting for you. And Pain Dog, get well soon.
Get that cream.
He's more to the left than everything Beyonce was in a box, but he's not here. So, we've learned from our mistakes. Some people are on the pitch. Not technically, but we've found a super sub. So we moved to centre midfield, making his debut on Some People on the Pitch. Will he sink or will he swim? Will he be a Solskjaer or will he just be Kaka? As long as he's here and ready to talk, it doesn't really matter. It's James Murphy.
Thanks for having me, boys. It's an honour to be here on this podcast.
Welcome. You've been doing your stretches.
Yeah, I've been doing stretches, limbering up, just getting ready to do a podcast.
Wax lyrical. You're an Arsenal fan, aren't you, James?
I'm indeed.
Good at Gooner. More on that later. You and Barry best get along. Big derby coming up next weekend, boys. But before I talk about Barry, I best introduce him because up front, it's our very own Sergio Aguero of Some People Are on the Pitch. Star striker, great hair, always injured. I'm happy to report, in spite of his injury, he's still the best looking man in the room. It's Mr. Barry, James Brosnan.
Yes!
Come on!
Alright, Bobby.
Come on!
How's it going?
Yes, the juices are flowing, mate. I'm feeling very buoyant, like a boat.
Nice.
Right, boys, so a weekend of shock results. Shock, horror, shock, horror. Where shall we start? Where shall we start?
Dunno.
I'll give you a choice, boys. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a choice.
Go on,
we can start with the sort of title picture, or we could talk about the game at the King Power Stadium involving Leicester and United. Sam, you wanted United confined their column inches to one part of the paper last week.
No.
Will you talk about United this week?
Yeah, they lost this week. Let's talk about them.
Last week, contradicting yourself now, eh?
Sorry.
Didn't want to talk about Man United last week when they're winning 4-0, but then they lose 5-3 and suddenly, boom, back page. First thing you want to talk about.
If Sam wants to talk about United getting beat, he can, because let's move to the King Power Stadium. I love that. King Power. I'll say it again.
Dreams.
King Power.
Strong.
King Power. Well, and Leicester tore Man United a new place in that place yesterday. And, they were 3-1 down, 1-5-3. So where's it going wrong for Man United, James? What do you think? Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. It's not exactly kind of groundbreaking punditry to say that it's just groundbreaking.
You can ground bake or gown bake here. I can't even speak. Never mind, go on.
But the defensive frailties are there for all to see. There's not enough quality running across that back four or the back three or whatever Van Gaal decides to do on a morning.
Yeah.
But and they've not replaced that quality. And now Blackett's got a straight red. He's out for 3 more games. Are they going to get Phil Jones back from injury? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to play back there, but it's not good enough.
It's the manner of the capitulations as well, because they got a bad decision. Clattenburg made a bit of a shocker, but after that, it was like an England batting test side. It was just, you know what I mean? They were just.
We can just see that. You can see that their confidence is so fragile that as soon as something goes well, all of them are just like, yes, we're gonna save the world. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do X, Y, and Z. And then as soon as those one little decisions go against them, they're just like start blaming this, blaming that, and just like you said, just completely capitulate and fall apart.
Well, Evans seems to make about 10 mistakes every single game. Surely Van Gaal was in, coaching over the summer. He had a little bit of a time,
After the World Cup.
How has he not gone, all right, we need a centre-back? How has he not bought a centre-back?
Well, how was that not a target to Woodward? How was it not saying we need a centre-back?
You can't lose 3 massively experienced players in Evra, Vidic and Ferdinand and then not replace them.
Fair enough.
Well, Ferdinand,
3 massively experienced
coming towards
players.
their end of their careers.
Coming to the end of their careers.
Replace them.
But to lose 3 like that, just like that, and then not replace them, I think it's mismanagement. I feel like there were sort of kids in a sweet shop just going, there's another attacking player. We can get him. We've got money. Let's just buy it. Do we need a defender? Falcao's available. We don't need defenders where we're from.
Exactly. They're getting comparisons with that great Kevin Keegan Newcastle side for being brilliant in attack and having Warren Barton in defence. But anyway, let's not take anything away from Leicester, because Leicester come up this year, but they look just at home in the Premier League, don't they?
Yeah.
A combination of players. Who's impressed you on the Leicester side this year then so far?
Well, I'm just happy to see Cambiasso in the Premier League.
Cambiasso, the Bald Eagle.
The Bald Eagle.
Original Galacticos.
And Vardy.
Looks like he might nick your car, but boy, can he run.
He's got his go faster stripes in his hair.
He has.
So
got all his go faster stripes. 3 years ago, he was playing for Fleetwood against Kidderminster. So what 3 years it's been for him. I'd like to think where I'd be in 3 years. I'll probably still be here. So
same kind of story as Lambert, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. A semi-rags to semi-riches story so far.
I think
but he had a great
rags
game.
to riches.
3 assists, 1 goal. Took his goal like a monster as well. And I really like the look of the guy from Brighton, Ajoa.
8 million well spent by the look of it. Big, strong, technically very, very, very good at doing what he does, holding that ball up and score some big goals.
I think he's on 4 goals already, 5 goals already in the Premier League, that's
important for a newly promoted team
to get some goals in early. And I mean, they've had some big tests as well. I mean, Arsenal, they played very, very well. I think it was to get a 2-2 draw there, and certainly against United as well. They're doing it against the bigger teams, and they're picking up points, which. You look at the other 2 promoted teams and you wonder if they're going to do that.
That's what I mean. It's like you said, it's so important for newly promoted teams to come up, get that confidence builder, start from a good place, and then that gives you confidence then for the rest of the season. So that's the thing with Leicester. I'm not taking anything away from them. Definitely performance of the week. Incredible what they did. It's just if they can keep that going, that enthusiasm at home is going to be important. So it'll be good for the fans to stay on side with them. And obviously they're just riding a wave at the moment. So the more they can do that, the more points they can pick up.
And they haven't been. They've been unlucky with the games that they have played as well. They could have got something out of each one.
They could have certainly got a victory at Arsenal, and
exactly.
There are other games that they played.
So they're looking good.
Very good. It's all good at Leicester, and it's all good at the King Power. Right. Well. Let's move on to the rest of the weekend, because apart from that, there was some massive results in the Premier League this weekend. Crystal Palace beating Everton, West Brom beating Spurs, both getting the first wins of the season.
Hi, James.
So the European hangover is back and in full force, because there was only Arsenal who got a win this weekend after playing a European game. So where shall we start? Who should we talk about? Should we talk about the City-Chelsea game? I think we owe it to ourselves to talk about the City-Chelsea game.
A big game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was defence on top. It was a defender's sort of game, I thought. There was some good defence. It was above board, but there was some nice hard tackles flying in. Sam, do you think Pellegrini's right saying Chelsea came with a small club mentality to park the bus? Is there anything wrong with parking the bus when you're playing the champions at the Etihad?
Well, when you expect the 2 top teams of the Premier League City and Chelsea, you know, it should be an attacking, flowing game. But it's just putting, I don't know.
He had his runners in, didn't he, Mourinho? You know, when Ramirez is starting, that they're going, you know what I mean, they're going for the... Well, but you can't fault Chelsea for being
No, they did have
compact.
It was tell you what, it wasn't a dull game. I don't really agree. Pellegrini, there's obviously something going on between those two, because I don't fully agree that it was the most... It was a decent game, actually, to be fair. And there was a lot of chances. Everyone played well. Milner had the game of his life.
James Milner, former Leeds Academy graduate.
Absolutely brilliant.
To add there.
Absolutely.
It seems a bit that Pellegrini is sort of coming out of his, not out of his shell, but he is being a lot more vocal. I've found, and he's, you know, these kind of competition.
Mourinho, it seems.
They do not get
that Swedish referee that inexplicably hated for some reason, but you know,
he can't be having these Swedish referees come here, take our jobs. Back to Milner, because he's not signed a new contract. Do you think City should be doing everything they can to keep him with performances like that? And one last year in the Allianz Arena in Munich, where he was man of the match. He seems to put in those big game performances, but not consistently being the City team. What do you think that's about?
Well,
Just do you need him for those kind of games, or?
Well, it's because we were rotating squad. It's hard to know what's going on behind closed doors, because you don't know if it's his agent not wanting to sign a contract, because you never know who they're going to bring. City going to bring in. I think they should. I think they should be pushing for a contract. I mean, Joe Hart hasn't signed a contract yet.
Would you like to see Milner in the team every week, though?
Yeah, of course. And the thing is, he's English as well, so that's a massive
plus for
City. Cause
that City debate.
Yeah,
because they've got a lot of
we've got Kale Clichy as a homegrown.
There were impressive defensive. There were good defensive performances on both sides. I was really impressed by Mangala, who looks like he's made out of granite. Warms up like he's punching holes in the wall in the dressing room. He looks mean.
Yeah. He's what City needed as well. Like,
yeah,
Di Michele's was good, and he's come into his own, and that's shown by Mangala not just walking into the team. But I think they needed that extra person next to Company, especially if Company gets injured. That's when City really struggle. So they're looking good defensively.
We obviously can't mention the game without mentioning super fat Frank Lampard, who came like a wrestling storyline.
Hollywood script.
Yeah, like a Hollywood script.
Brilliant.
Came on and scored.
What a City legend.
You kind of knew.
As he will now be referred to.
Did you see the
You
stats?
knew, didn't you? You knew, like when Pellegrini was talking to him, you saw him coming on with 15 minutes left. You're like,
it looked like he'd been told he had to shoot his dog dead though when he scored. Now I'm all not for celebrating, but come on, a smile.
Exactly, he was. But to be fair to him, he had a couple of shots. It wasn't like he wasn't trying.
Yeah, no, well, he obviously is a professional footballer, but I was like, come on, Frank, no one's died. Not just put your cat down.
No, very true.
You know what I mean?
But another thing I want to say, it wasn't a sending off. Definitely wasn't a sending off.
Is this Zabaleta?
Zabaleta.
Definitely was.
I don't know what Zabaleta. No, it wasn't.
You can't just go for like an end of that conversation and we just go on to a new topic and we just say it was a definite sending off.
It wasn't a sending off.
It wasn't. It was 2 yellows.
I think
it wasn't. It wasn't.
Maybe not by the letter of the man law,
one.
but I thought by the letter of the law.
It wasn't. Why? What letter of the law are you talking about?
G.
No.
All right.
He was trying to give him a hug.
A friendly man hug to a striker on the opposition team. It happens. Red card, no harm done, a point taken. Keeps the league wide open as well, which is good, because if Chelsea had won that, last week I said it were a one-horse race. If they'd have won this weekend, I'd have truly believed it as well, because I don't think, what would have been 8-9 points that have been clear of City then?
Yeah, they're 5 now.
5 now, which is, you know what I mean, you'll take. So, all good at City and Chelsea. But it's not good everywhere else, unfortunately, for those Champions League teams. Liverpool made the Champions League bow, and it was against some Belgians in a forest who aren't bad. They're not as bad as they sound, but it's a club that's only 8 years old. Regardless, not a convincing performance back at Anfield. Certainly not on Saturday night at Upton Park / the Berlin ground. So is that Liverpool being bad, or are West Ham a lot better this season?
Combination of both.
I think,
classic combination of both.
West Ham, they've bought well, and obviously they've gone for a new philosophy.
Yeah.
Should I say? I think I don't think it's been a complete transformation. Everyone's just gone, oh no, West Ham now just like this new attacking flair side. I think Sam Allardyce's hands have been sort of pushed into this way of playing, because without Carroll, without Nolan, the only players he's got are sort of small, technically able, dynamic, sort of attacking on the ball players.
Those are very good words you're using. So why is he not? Without Carroll and Nolan, I think it's a better
well,
shift.
We've got
definitely
Sacco,
is.
Valencia.
I think it just gives West Ham now competition for places
as well.
Where West Ham never had competition for places really before. They were just sort of missed Carroll and missed Nolan when they went in there, and now sort of looking a little better.
Song, you were about to say, James.
I think it's a
nice bit of business.
As an Arsenal fan, I mean, Song was always, found wanting in the midfield, obviously looking for a Hollywood pass and not, adhering to his defensive duties. But I think it's a very good signing. A loan deal for this whole season from Barcelona. I think it's good, shrewd business from Allardyce. I think it's good work.
Another thing to mention, I think, is woo career resurrection alert. Stuart Downing. He's been philandering on the wing for God knows how many years. Put him at the head of the diamond.
Yeah.
He's the new Raheem Sterling. And he's like 30. Welcome back, Stuart, to the Premier League.
Yeah,
We missed you. You got 1 assist at Liverpool. I think you got 2 on Saturday. So playing against his old club.
Stuart Downing doing well.
Yeah.
He
We
was a
like
talent.
an English left-footed player. There's only 3 of them, 4. So welcome back, Stuart Downing. Woo. Career alarm.
It's very camp as well. It's very camp alarm.
Yeah, well, it doesn't go off that often. Liverpool have lost 3 out of 5, so it's not looking great for their juggling Premier League and Champions League. What do we think on Balotelli, who's been brought in to fill that Suarez buck teeth shaped hole? Is he filling it?
I don't know. I don't think he's the. I hope he would. And I hoped he would, and he just doesn't seem to be that right sign. And I love him. I love him, and I just don't think he's that kind of player that they need. They need you look at all the top teams. You've got City. You've got Aguero. You've got Arsenal, who have Welbeck. To be fair,
Olivier Giroud as well. That's fantastic.
Gudges.
Well,
Are
he
you
gets
talking-
round
so-
one sold out.
Just to clarify, you're talking about a player who'll chase down, who'll run after things and sort of make things happen.
Yeah.
Costa, your Aguero's.
Balotelli will hold it up, fantastically, but I don't think he's gonna. You see him holding it up, passing it off, but he's not driving into the box to get on the end of something like any other player in the top clubs.
And when they had Sturridge and Suarez up front, they knew Liverpool's weaknesses last year was their defence, and they just pressed so high and just made so many mistakes, and they just capitalised on that and then just attack from there. And Balotelli is not that kind of striker. You need to feed the ballo, and he'll score, and he'll get goals, but Liverpool are going to have to change their way they play. You're not going to play that way. Those opening sort of 15-20 minutes last season of Liverpool, where they just blitz you, and then the game would be finished after 20 minutes. You're not going to get that from Balotelli.
Do you think these might be teething problems, or do you think it is like an Andy Carroll round peg in a square hole kind of thing? I mean, is it that Liverpool's style of play, the fluidity?
Yeah, I think it's going to be their style of play. They're going to have to change how they play, because Balotelli's not going to do that. You're not going to change him into something he's not, because he's going to score goals.
Yeah,
he'll get
15,
as well.
20
goals. But it's just the way of playing. They're going to have to change that.
I think it will be interesting when Sturridge comes back in. I think that will change the way they play.
The dynamic.
But for now, I think they're not.
So Liverpool struggling at the moment. Let's move on to Arsenal, because Arsenal were the only team to get a win who were sort of challenging for the upper echelons of the Premier League. But Villa were hit by a mystery virus. Let's hope it's not Ebola or anything, but Paul Lambert says he's never seen anything like it.
I mean, as hilarious as it is to imagine a red-faced Paul Lambert and holding back the beard of Roy Keane, who both retched into the same toilet in Birmingham. I'd imagine they're both doing it at the same time, at least in my head. But, there's a lot of dark things going on in my head. But, let's not take anything away from Arsenal's performance. I thought it was a good game. I thought it was very smooth. I thought a lot more fluidity. A lot more, and a lot have been made about Ozil playing in his preferred number 10 role. Obviously, what he sort of crafted at Real Madrid and for the German team, and obviously playing on the left wing, has
Wenger stroked his ego a little bit.
What a difference 4 days makes. Last week we called for medicine for Metzer because he looked so poorly, a bit of Calpol. Obviously didn't give him any for Dortmund. He must have
missed his prescription for Dortmund, as I do think the first 11 did. But
Wenger's done a good bit of management there. Came out publicly, backed him next game.
He had to.
Yeah, goal and an assist. And I thought Ozil and Welbeck were starting to look a bit tasty, like you know what I mean.
Well, that's what they kind of said, didn't they? Like when that's what Arsenal have been missing. That sort of striker who will get on behind, who's going to make the Cazorlas and the Ozils just look better. Because that's what they do. When Ozil was playing with Benzema and well, not so much Higuain, but they get behind the defence and those sort of the number 10s. That's perfect. That's exactly
I feel
what
like
they want.
Giroud plays with his back to goal a lot, whereas Welbeck will look to make those runs a bit more.
Exactly, and he's going to make them play at 3 players behind him.
Something else I liked about Arsenal that you saw went under the radar is the Ox returned to the starting line.
He did.
And I think he brings a lot to Arsenal in terms of energy, a bit of pace in the middle.
He does.
Maybe a better engine than Arteta nowadays.
I think, yeah.
Would you like to see him in the team regularly, James? Or?
Yeah, I think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's an absolute wonderful talent, and I think Wenger has spoken quite publicly on a lot of occasions about him being deployed more as a central midfielder rather than a winger. But with players like Ramsey that had lost a bit of form towards the back end of a couple of seasons back, he does tend to deploy them out on the wings, to get their form up, to get their fitness, and that's, I think, what he did with Ozil on the left. And Chamberlain, I definitely think, has got that burst of energy, that kind of gut instinct to drive the team forwards, and I think he's great.
I did want to ask you one more quick question on Arsenal, James, and that is, for me, Arsenal, they're just top 4 fodder. I can't see them winning the league. I can't see him finishing out of the top 4. As an Arsenal fan, it's a question often asked on football shows. Is that enough for you, making the top 4 every year? What do you think Arsenal will need to kick on? Do you think they can win it this year?
It's a huge question. Do I think they can win it this year? No. In my heart of hearts, I don't think they can. I think we have 6 fit defenders. Debuchy, I think, has just been announced. He's out for 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
Do we have any kind of big game changers of the ilk of Robin van Persie or a Thierry Henry or a Bergkamp? You've got players coming to the fore like Ozil and like Sanchez that you expect to really push on, but I think it's as complete a team as something like a Chelsea or a Man City at the moment. I think we're just a little bit off the pace.
Like a bit like United, Arsenal. It's all fine when Plan A is going for Arsenal, when they can play the nice, attractive football. When they go a goal down or 2 goals down, it's sort of Keystone Cup.
Can I just bring up something there? There was a swear involved there.
That wasn't a swear. I said get out.
Swear box.
Swear box.
Did he swear?
I don't think I did. I think if you listen,
a little F word.
We are recording this, so you could easily just listen back.
We'll listen back,
and then next week there'll be a
Well, you're going to be very foolish come next week.
We'll bring in the video evidence. So what do they say? What's the panel
Dubious
called?
goals panel.
Cited. You've been cited.
Yeah.
We'll review it in
Cite
the
on, Sam. Cite on.
That's enough of Arsenal for 1 week, I think, because they won, and we don't like talking about winning, really, because we like talking about losing, don't we, Barry?
Yes! Old Spurs, we're back!
What's going on? I had one note for Spurs this week, Barry, and that is no marking at corners.
Yeah.
What have you got to say about that?
When you're making Lamella mark at corners, that's not going to happen, is it?
What's happened to Lamella? Because he nearly had the career in ace on Salam.
Yeah.
I nearly set it off.
No, he's still
he's
still doing
it. He stinker yesterday.
He played very well at Argentina, though, like international.
It's not just Lamella. There was a lot of complacency for our performance. There was not just the players. I think the fans. I think everyone just turned up. Thought we were going to roll over this West Brom team who haven't won a game, propping up the league. Thought it was going to be an easy home win. It wasn't like that. It was slow. It was predictable. We had no pace in the team. Every player for Tottenham just wanted to play exactly the same. There was no pace. Everyone wanted it to feet. Adebayor was coming short. Ericsson, Chadley, Lamella all wanted it to play feet and play this little tic-tacky football, and we just wasn't breaking them. Yeah, getting beyond.
Bombing towards the goal.
There's a problem Arsenal have had, that no one wants to get on behind and want to try and score this perfect goal. And I'm not having this European hangover thing, because it was a completely different team.
Yeah, he made changes, Pochettino.
Yeah, he made changes, and it's like we had one shot on target.
Do you think that adds to the complacency more, though? Because they were like, well, I've got, you know what I mean, we've had a week off, Is it a mental thing? Because you think as professional footballers, they say you've got to treat every game as, you know what I mean? It was vitally important.
That's what I was thinking. Like with this whole playing on Thursdays and the Europa League, and then saying that they haven't got enough time to prepare for the Sunday game. He pretty much had an idea that he was going to change the whole team around. So from Monday, why can't he just prepare 2 different teams? None of the players that played on Thursday were playing on Sunday. Prepare them for the Thursday match, and start preparing the other lot for the Sunday match. It doesn't have to be you get back for Friday morning, maybe have a little session Friday afternoon, and then a session Saturday, and then you've got the game on Sunday.
So were you happy with that team then on Sunday? The team that
the actual team, yeah, because I mean that's the team that's been playing all season. But like I said, there's a lack of pace, lack of the dynamics are all wrong. We've got Adebayor, who's our TV player, as I like to call him. He only performs on Super Sunday or Monday Night Football, but as soon as the Sky Sports cameras aren't on him, or BT Sport, then he's just not interested. And he's just he's our Balotelli and Leicester player.
Fair enough.
Do you know what it looked like, Bobby? It looked like AVB had come back and trained Tottenham for a week. That's what it looked like.
Oh dear. And we don't want that. So it's the North London derby next. So you know what I mean. Nothing gets. They need to get back on it, really, don't they?
Get back on it. So hopefully the League Cup tie against Nottingham Forest should give us a bit of confidence.
We need to mention Julian Lescott as well, who had a massive game for West Brom. Maybe Man United or Liverpool should have looked at signing Lescott.
He was good. I watched the game and he was phenomenal. He was incredible.
You can't tell me that Julian Lescott on a free wouldn't improve, that back four of Man United. I mean, let alone.
I don't think he'd have gone to United though.
You never know, but maybe Liverpool, when you're paying 20 million for Lovren and getting Lescott for free.
I think it's still a good bit of business.
But
Lescott.
then again,
experienced Premier League defenders,
Yeah. They were saying it on Match of the Day, weren't they, that he seems to have come, and it was Hasselbank saying it, but he seems to have learnt his skill towards the latter end of his career instead of having that initial. He's kind of he's got there, and I've always rated Lescott. I think he's been
you get that with defenders. You get that with some defenders, though, didn't you? It's just he's never been blessed with good pace, but then being experienced centre back
and a reader of the game.
He's learned how to read the game, and he's played with company the last few years. I mean, there's sort of not many better people.
He will make mistakes, but they were always flagged up because it was Lescott, and he's made a lot of mistakes in his earlier career. But company last year and this year has made a few mistakes, but he will never be as as much as Lescott would.
Lovely. Well, let's move on to the rest of the Premier League news. We saw the supposed protest at St James's Park, which sort of got going, didn't get going, fell a bit flat on its feet. Pardew, was it a stay of execution? Is he just a dead man walking? Barry, you had something you wanted to say.
I just thought that there was such a big build-up before the Newcastle game. There's going to be protests before, during, and after. And what do we see? Some A4 printed out sheets of sportsdirect.com
but
done as sackpardew.com. And you see someone just sitting in his office just going, I'll just print them off at work so I don't want to waste my own ink. And it's just led me to go on about other protests because it was...
Put the banner on wheel, lads!
You're not printing off our printer, are you? Do it at work! But it's led me on to other protests.
Go
which
on.
I just think...
Tell me about some other protests.
Brilliant. What bird did Blackburn put onto the pitch to protest against the Venkies?
Chicken.
Put a chicken on a Blackburn flag,
Yeah.
which I just love. I'm just the Blackburn fan sneaking into Ewood Park. It's those barriers are they're quite small barriers, and you've got everyone sort of searching for anything. I just love the fact that he's walked in with a chicken under his coat and dressed it in a Blackburn flag and left it onto the pitch. So we've got that one. We've got the when a Swedish team called Majabur, when their team didn't score for 5 games, you know what the fans did?
I do know what they did. They all made arrows. They
made
one big arrow at the goal.
It was so frustrated. There was about 1,000 of them, all with neon arrows. And wherever the ball went, they just ran. One stand was completely empty, and they just ran, pointing the ball and supported the players. Do you know what happened? They scored and they won 1-0.
Did they? Maybe they can do that at Burnley, because Burnley haven't scored since
there
the
you go.
first day of the Premier League season.
What
Any
was the other
more
one?
favourite protests?
We had the fans of AI. It's in Sweden again. Fans of AIK and DIF in Sweden protested because for 10 minutes because their Swedish FA wanted to calm down the raucous crowds. They put in new legislations, and AIK and DIF are like the Stockholm's biggest rivalry, and they all stayed quiet for 10 minutes. And it's like we've all done like minute silence. You've always got one idiot who just shouts out. And this is like their big derby. It looks like one idiot just trying to get his own bit of time in the limelight. They all stayed quiet and then just went absolutely mental for the rest of the 80 minutes.
Swedish resilience.
Stayed all quiet.
Brilliant.
And finally, I liked this little one where Ajax, where they played AC Milan in Champions League, and for rising ticket prices, they stayed quiet for the first 14 minutes. Why 14? This is Johan Cruyff's number.
Oh, right.
So it was a nice little touch.
We don't like ticket prices, we do like Johan Cruyff.
Yeah.
I like it.
There you go.
Nice bit of research there, Barry. Very thorough. Very thorough. I like saying that, thorough. Not as much as King Power, but still
Just
I
be
like
inventive
saying
with
it.
your protests.
Right. Let's any other Premier League. Oh, we've got to talk about Swansea versus Saints. Just for Wilfred Boney's foul.
Oh, what a walk
What
around.
an amazing,
What a walk around.
what a walk around. What an amazing foul. William Wallace-esque in his chat. All he needed was the blue paint and a kill. Running at him.
I love it. I love how the Southampton defender was sort of mid-air and just sort of seen coming out screaming. He just, no, I'm sorry.
Maybe he was a yes voter.
Wilfred Boney wanted an independent Scotland and he didn't get one, so Fonte, I think it was, he's going to pay for it. Wilfred Boney, my imaginary cap is donned. That is the best. That's the best challenge I've seen in years. Literally. What else went down? Burnley, Sunderland 0-0. QPR Stoke. I text producer Pain Dog about QPR Stoke. What do you think to the game? He texts me back. I don't do QPR Stoke, and I think we won't.
Hello. Handbags.
So, no, that's paying on them, but I thought that was fair enough. Everton have got the worst defence in the Premier League. Congratulations to Crystal Palace for getting the first win. Did you want to say something about that?
No, I think it's very surprising. Like what we were saying before, that back four, that they would go into any.
Yeah, Jagielka, Coleman, Baines, you'd think had... Well, that had all three of them would walk into Man United's defence.
Stones is a very good defender. And
is this United's worst ever start to a Premier League?
I know they're 2 points worse off than they were with Moyes at this point last season.
Well done, Moyes. Well done.
So David Moyes is looking more and more employable every week. He must be a happy man at the minute.
He must be loving it,
and rightly so as well, because
he signed 400 million with it. Anyway,
he was mistreated there. Yeah, what's going on at Everton? Everton, come on, defend, man. Anyway, don't defend if you don't want. Just score more goals than the other team, which you didn't do. So, you know what I mean? Do one or the other. Or both. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's that time of the show where we ask my friend... I'm just waiting for the music, so I'm going to talk...
didn't prep us.
And now, the Emmy Award-winning, Brit Award-winning, BAFTA-nominated, Oscar-award-winning, it's Sam Stings.
Yeah.
Sam Stings.
It's part of that show where I ask young Mario Samatelli, what are his things? Sam, you're a simple man with simple needs, yes?
Okay.
Sam, what has been getting your wick this week? Anything? Everything?
A couple of things.
Fire away.
Well, first of all, it's that horrible racist abuse that Balotelli has got because he said LOL United, which
we're all doing. We were all
doing that. I mean, who was telling my friend yesterday, one of our mates was saying in a pub, everyone was cheering on Leicester, and then someone, I presume a United fan, turned around and said, who's a Leicester fan? And everyone went, no one.
It's like when you're having a joke or you're having a banter with some mates, and then one of your mates brings parents into it, and you're like, we're just having a laugh.
But the thing is, it's just cowardly. I mean, this guy is like, if you're gonna say it, say it to his face.
I imagine-
you would not say
No.
anything to Balotelli.
He'll throw a firework at you,
Exactly.
or a dart.
He
He
doesn't
doesn't
even need
care.
that. He just headbutt you.
So
It's just
stop being
disgusting.
racist
That's
to
why he does it on
Balotelli,
Twitter.
Stop being
unless
racist.
you're going to be racist to his face, and even then, don't be racist to his face because he'll kick your ass.
Exactly. Just don't be racist.
Just
in
don't be
general.
racist.
Don't be racist,
Or
kids.
homophobic.
Don't be
We're all
Kids, racist. is
brilliant.
not
What's
good.
your next Sam thing?
Well, I'm going to go back onto last week's. Just bring it up for a second because it's the the stadiums I was talking about.
The
atmosphere of
standing.
stadiums.
Sam
Just
wants
because-
standing.
Yeah, because I was out with a friend. A friend from Bayern, from he was living in Munich at the moment.
Oh, very good.
And Berlin, sorry.
Same place.
It's all the same country.
Yeah, sorry. But he went to
He's in Germany.
He went to Bayern Munich. He went to the Allianz, and he was going. It's just saying how amazing it is. You've got a guy on a drum there, bang, 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 straight away. I mean, you all know on the TV. But when he was saying you can smoke in the stadiums, not that you should smoke, but everything else is. You got a guy on a megaphone, like just making crowds sing. Why is that not happening in England?
I have to say though, if someone was banging a drum near me,
Next to
I'd be
me.
like, mate, you can knock that on, Ed.
yeah, but
I'll bounce.
you are the type of people we need out. That's what we need out.
Imagine, I mean, sitting
And you-
either
I mean-
behind the guy with a drum or next to the guy with a microphone, and they're just going at it for
Yeah,
90
but if
minutes.
you're
I mean,
in that
sometimes
atmosphere
I
and
just. The atmosphere is good enough, though. Do we need to
No,
really
it's not
force
good
the
enough.
atmosphere with drums and microphones
Yes,
and
it's
vuvuzelas and whistles and clacks?
Excuse me, James.
So it's your
James,
thing.
You do
You're
not go to football games.
You're making Sam
You
Attelli
do
angry.
not go to football games.
That's the
I've
that's-
been not a lot at all. I've been out of season ticket
And you
at
prefer
City.
drums
Getting angry.
and microphones? would you?
Yes, of course I would. I've been watching. I've been to a lot of football games. I've been to Chelsea. Flipping it, they need some drums. They could do with a girl just singing. I don't care. Anyone. But it's just terrible. You do not understand this.
Right,
If you
right,
go to-
okay.
Right,
Sam.
sorry.
Sam, sorry, James, that you had to see that.
James.
That's just
A barrage. Took the full force of that one,
Whole
James.
side of
Nonsense.
Sam.
We forgot, James.
And-
James, we forgot to say, don't talk during Sam's things.
I will note
Because that happens.
The first
He's
one-
very highly
That
strung.
happens.
Can I say
Some
something?
things.
And he's an Arsenal fan, and that is one of some of the worst fans I've ever. Not that you're good. You are a good Arsenal fan.
Thank you.
But
We want to segregate our
Arsenal-
listeners.
I know.
Arsenal fans.
We've already segregated the Man United fans.
All right. Arsenal fans at the stadium are some of the worst fans I've ever seen. That Chelsea.
To be fair though, to Arsenal fans, they've paid about 200 grand a ticket. To
This is
watch,
very
you
true.
know what I mean?
This is very well
Anyway,
spent.
let's wrap up Sam's things for now because.
All right. Okay.
You know what I mean? That's
Oh.
enough things for 1 week. They can roll over. It's a rollover, Sam.
Roll over, Sam's. He was so angry this week.
There's extra anger with extra cheese and anger.
Sam
stings.
Sam stings.
Sam stings. Everyone is Sam
Fine,
stings.
Sam stings.
Now it's time for your favourite segment. My favourite segment. His favourite segment. It's Frank the Plank. Frank the Plank. Frank the Plank. I don't know what that is. He is a plank. His name is Frank. So this is a part of the show where each of my Fandits nominate a plank or Frank the Plank from the weekend's football. Last weekend's winner was Stephen Naismith with a spectacular sitter. Who are we going for this week? James, you're new to Frank the Plank and the show, so I'll let you start off.
I think I'll have to go for Aaron Ramsey's. I hesitate to call it a pass because he put so much. I don't know what he was doing. I think he was passing to Per Mertesacker.
Who is a big
overhit
lad,
it.
to be fair.
Who
as
is
well.
a big
It's
lad.
hard
You
to
could
miss
not-
Mertesacker.
You could not miss Per Mertesacker and Ramsey, or the Welsh Jesus, as we've all been calling him. Before this season started, admittedly. He just absolutely lumped it over to Mertesacker. Went out for a corner. Mertesacker was livid, and Villa, had a really good chance to score in that subsequent corner, and just had no idea what he was doing. And I think it was very Plank-esque, and that's what I will nominate.
A lovely and thoroughly researched entry there for Frank the Plank. Thank you,
Bob.
James. So we've got Aaron Ramsey and his pass to Mertesacker. I say pass in italics. Pass. Because it wasn't a pass. It was. Did he go for a corner?
He did. It went out for a corner.
Went for a
so
corner.
It was It was just shit.
So it was, yeah.
Oh,
That was a
there it
swear.
is.
We
That
don't
was
need-
an actual.
We don't
Get
need
in
a
the tin.
steward's inquiry for
Get
that
it
one.
in.
Oh yeah.
That's a
alright.
quid.
There it
It's a
is.
pound.
It's a pound, I swear.
James.
You can drop an F-bomb, but it'll cost you.
Bobby's mum does not like swearing.
Bobby's mum hates swearing.
I do
Sorry,
apologise.
Bobby's mum. Sorry, Mum.
Sorry,
Not
Mum.
that
Sorry,
she's
Bobby's
been
mum.
listening. I think she listened to 10 minutes of one. Never mind. Sam, who is your nomination for this week's Frank the Plank?
Well, I'd like to nominate the 2 days FIFA I've scored 2 own goals. And brilliant own goals. But I can't nominate them. It's just been ridiculous. Just wanted to bring that up.
Fair enough.
I did. Thank you.
It's
Right.
alright. Tim Howard, I think I'm going to go for.
Tim Howard.
Bad game.
Tim Howard.
Tim Howard had a stinker
He had a bit
at
of a
the
stinker.
weekend.
An absolute stinker.
The man
It
who was like, he was like Elms Deep in the World Cup. You
was.
shall not pass.
It was. Edris Elba.
It's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But this weekend he had a stinker.
Yeah, did.
So you just want Tim Howard's
Just
general
Tim Howard,
game.
yeah.
Would
Well,
you
both,
like to?
both goals he kind of.
Yeah,
Just
a
rest
fault
up
for
on.
both. Well,
Yeah.
2 of the 3. Would you like to shave Tim Howard? Do you think it's the beard? Do you like the beard?
Well, it needs it, doesn't it? Because they are.
Yeah, you can't.
Lack
Yeah,
on top.
Otherwise, it's
Put
just
it on the face.
Cambiasso running around.
Where's Cambiasso in Evans' net? Identity beard. So you want him to keep his identity beard so we don't mess him up with Cambiasso.
Well, he's
But-
got a rival here, hasn't he? Who's the keeper?
Who does he play for now? I know exactly who you
Leicester.
mean. Leicester. He plays for
Leicester,
Leicester, but he's number 2 to Kasper Schmeichel. Don't remember his
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Great beard.
Yeah, good bit.
Right, so Tim Howard, stinker.
Yeah.
Barry, who's your nomination?
Do you know what? I've got down here, but then we were talking about him earlier, and we were sort of singing his praises. So I'm not sure whether I might just have a quick change. I might do a quick substitution. No, not Clattenburg.
Not Clattenburg.
Clattenburg is a genius.
I was going to go for Boney. I was going to go for Boney.
That.
I was going to go for Boney, but we've talked about him, and it was quite amazing.
Yeah,
So,
but I think we can go. I won't mind going for Boney again. It was that good.
it
No,
was good.
let's change it up. No Boney.
Just because we've already talked about him, I'm going to go for an international one.
Oh.
I'm going to go for. It's going to be a bit out there. I'm going to go for Lionel Messi.
Messi.
Because although he did score twice, I think they played the bottom team in
Yeah,
La Liga.
La Liga.
They won 5-0 and he scored 2. But the first, he missed a penalty, didn't he? Lionel Messi missed a penalty to make it 1-0. It was still 0-0 at the time. Do you know how many penalties he's missed?
I do. 11.
11 penalties.
Wow.
11
penalties. He's the best
11.
player in the world, and he's a rubbish penalty taker.
But I heard apparently he missed this penalty. I don't know why, but apparently he missed this penalty on purpose
Really?
yesterday because it wasn't a penalty. Now I've not. I sort of heard it. So Lionel Messi, Barcelona.
From his agent.
With your high.
From his agent.
It's
That's
for
why
your
I did it.
contacts. It's for your contacts.
So we're going to have to double check this one, but still, to miss 11 penalties in a career, you probably should stop taking penalties.
Barcelona's
Once you've
full of
missed
good
10.
penalty takers.
Yeah, that is a lot of penalties to miss.
That's
And
shocking. Didn't know that.
so I've got to decide. So it's Ramsey, Tim Howard, or Messi. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for. I would go for you, Sam, Tim Howard, but I give it to you last week. James, I liked yours, but I do like the fact that Messi's missed more penalties than Jamie Carragher's scored goals. So when you've got a fact like that, there's only one Frank the Plank. So the second international Frank the Plank of the year is Lionel Messi. Well done, Messi. Although you may have missed it on purpose, you've missed 10 before that, not on purpose. So what are we
He's
gonna
going
do?
to turn it all around, and he's going to start playing quite well now.
Absolutely. Right, boys, we've got a couple of minutes left, and we're going to do a couple of kick it out things, or at least I am. Something I think needs kicking out of football, and it's bubbles at West Ham home games. Turn the bubble machine off. The stonking on Liverpool, really enjoying it. Can't see the action for bubbles going past the
I
camera.
forgot they were at West Ham. I thought it was birds.
Where are all them birds flying? But do the Saints have a procession of vicars marching in before
No, they
a game?
don't, Bobby.
Do Newcastle release magpies?
No, they
No!
don't.
Stop the
Does
bubbles!
City drop a big blue moon on top of the
Exactly.
pitch?
Does a blue moon eclipse? Does a red devil come out and take someone to
Yes,
hell?
he does. It
Yeah, he does come out at United.
He'll take Ferguson to hell.
Yeah. Please, West Ham, I seem to always be having a pop at West Ham, and I don't mean it. Maybe it's just teams that turn it. West Ham and Villa are my least two favourite. I don't know why.
Claret.
But they're ruining my life with bubbles and claret. Stop it. Anyone else got anything they need to get off the chest? James, anything that does your head in about football? You're like, why do we have that?
I won't go on a soapbox, but what Sam said earlier, racism on Twitter, kick it out.
Yeah.
Just kick it out. We don't need it.
No,
we don't
racism,
need it.
man.
And if you're gonna say lol to United, then I think you should just be getting,
the adequate amount of stick. Maybe shut up, Mario.
Someone can have a go at him if you're United.
Of course, I'm not against sticking up your team and having a bit of banter, but.
No racist.
Let's just not be racist.
Serious note. Barry, anything you want to get?
Yeah, I've got to kick it out. Just a little one for me for a kick it out. FIFA. I want to kick out FIFA.
FIFA. Is this because the report, the great ethics report we were all going to hear about, and it was going to thingy all the committees? Oh, we're not going to see it no more.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh yeah, only I need to see it.
Is that one of them? It's just like, have you done your homework? Yeah, I've done it. Yeah. Can I see it? No. Just take my word that I've done it.
Slide some more Qatari dollars under the table, and I'll show you my writing.
Show it to you. There's too much money all over my folders.
Oh, where did all this money
they're more like a mafia than a legitimate business.
It's like a country.
What's the word we've got to say after that, though?
The audacity.
No. Legal words.
Oh, allegedly.
Alleged money.
So,
alleged money.
If you're still listening at this point, add about 10 allegedlys in to the last 2 minutes.
Allegedly, there was bribes.
Producer Payne is
that curling in his grave. Well, that's all we've got time for this weekend. James, thank you for stepping in at the last minute.
Thank you for having me, boys. It's been a pleasure.
Sam, thank you. Say bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam.
Say bye, Barry.
Bye, Barry.
We'll see you all. We'll see you all next week. Woo!
Hello.
Sam sings.
Sam sings.
Right, bye-bye.